The rain in Seattle has a way of silencing the world, pushing you into the quiet corners of your own mind. That night, sitting across from David at our small wooden table, the silence felt heavier than the storm outside. For 10 years, this table had been our sanctuary, a place of shared dreams and easy conversation. But lately, the light above us seemed to struggle against a growing shadow. David was physically there, but his eyes were fixed on a horizon I couldn't see. I've always believed that when you love someone for a decade, you don't just hear their words, you hear their heartbeat. And David's heart was restless. He had always been the steady one, the man who built our life with careful hands and quiet devotion. But as our dinner grew cold, he finally broke the silence with a truth that had been simmering beneath the surface. He told me he felt unfinished, like there was a door inside him he had never dared to open. He wasn't looking for a way out. He was looking for a way to feel alive again. It's a terrifying thing to hear, that the life you built together isn't enough to fill your partner's soul. But in that moment, I realized that love isn't about possession. If I forced him to stay behind a closed door, I wouldn't be his wife. I'd be his jailer. I told him that I didn't want to be the reason he felt trapped. Love shouldn't be a cage, I whispered, and as I said it, I felt the trajectory of our future shift in a way that could never be undone. In the weeks that followed, a strange new energy settled into our home. David seemed lighter, yet more distant. I threw myself into my work, taking long walks through the mist-covered streets, trying to find my own balance in the uncertainty. That's when I met Mark. It happened during a business trip to Vancouver, a simple connection that started with conversation and ended with a realization. Mark saw me. He listened with an intensity that made me realize how much of myself I had tucked away to keep our marriage stable. It wasn't a betrayal of my love for David. It was a discovery of a part of me that had gone dormant. I realized that the human heart is vast. It can hold devotion and curiosity at the same time. Caring for someone new didn't erase what I had with David. It acted as a mirror, reflecting exactly what was missing from our own four walls. The hardest part wasn't feeling those emotions. It was bringing them home. One evening, David noticed the change in me the way I held my phone, the small, private smiles. Kite, Ide. When he asked if I was okay, I didn't reach for a lie. I told him about Mark. I told him that I felt seen in ways I had forgotten existed. I expected anger or heartbreak, but what I found was a profound, quiet honesty. We sat there, hands resting lightly on the table, facing the truth without the armor of pretense. My confession wasn't an ending. It was an evil. We realized that our marriage was no longer a simple, predictable path. It had become something alive, something that needed to stretch and bend to accommodate the people we were actually becoming, rather than the people we promised to be 10 years ago. True bravery in love isn't always about a grand gesture or a dramatic sacrifice. Sometimes it's simply about being awake enough to notice when the foundation is shifting and having the courage to speak the truth, even when your voice shakes. David and I aren't the same couple we used to be, but we are more connected than ever. Because now, we aren't just living together, we are growing together, protecting a love that is strong enough to survive the truth.